Dive right into the world of thrill and danger with Veru, the third most insane banned waterslide. This towering titan was more than just a slide. It was a monument to the extreme, a challenge to the fearless, and a tribute to the wild spirit of adventure. Located in Kansas City's Schlitterbahn Water Park, Veru, which fittingly means insane in German, held the record for the world's tallest waterslide. Standing at a staggering 168 feet, it was taller than Niagara Falls. Imagine staring down from the top, your heart pounding, and then, whoosh, you're plummeting down at a speed that could hit up to 70 miles per hour. The slide's unique uphill section, a rarity in water slides, added an extra punch of thrill, defying gravity and expectations. But what made Veru a legend was not just its height or speed, it was the raft ride, a unique feature that allowed 3 riders to share the adrenaline rush together. This was not a solitary journey, it was a shared experience of thrill and terror, a bond forged in the heart-stopping moments of the descent. However, the thrill came with a dark side. In 2016, a tragic incident occurred, changing the narrative of Veru from a thrill-seeker's paradise to a symbol of danger. A 10-year-old boy lost his life on the slide due to a fatal design flaw. This incident sparked a wave of controversy and raised serious questions about the safety measures in place. The slide was shut down immediately, and despite numerous investigations and legal battles, it was never reopened. Veru, a slide that promised an adrenaline rush like no other, now stands as a grim reminder of the dangers lurking in the name of fun. Its towering structure, once a symbol of excitement and adventure, now casts a long shadow over the world of extreme water slides, a chilling testament to the fine line between thrill and danger. Hold your breath as we plunge into the depths of Gono Falls, the second most insane banned water slide. Now imagine a water slide so steep, so terrifying that it's named after the famous Apache warrior's battle cry, Geronimo. That's right folks, we're talking about the one and only Gono Falls. This slide was all about speed and sheer drop, a heart-stopping adrenaline-pumping ride that sent you plummeting down at breakneck speeds. Gono Falls was not your average water slide. Its unique design, featuring a nearly vertical drop, made it a sought-after thrill for daredevils. The slide was so steep that riders often reported a sensation of flying. The rapid descent down the chute was akin to a free fall, earning it the reputation of a human roller coaster. But what made Gono Falls truly infamous were the numerous accidents and safety issues that plagued its history. Despite the thrills and screams of excitement, there was a darker side to this water slide that eventually led to its downfall. The slide had a long list of safety issues. There were reports of riders getting airborne, resulting in injuries. The lack of adequate safety measures and the disregard for basic safety protocols played a significant role in these incidents. Public outcry grew as the accidents mounted. Parents, safety advocates, and even some thrill seekers began to question the sanity of keeping such a dangerous slide in operation. This led to an investigation that brought to light the gross negligence and disregard for safety that had been a hallmark of Gono Falls. The verdict was clear and harsh. Gono Falls, once a beacon for thrill seekers, was deemed too dangerous and was subsequently banned. The slide that once echoed with the screams of thrill seekers now stands as a silent testament to the harsh lessons of safety negligence. So here's to Gono Falls, a slide that was a wild ride while it lasted, but ultimately a stark reminder that the pursuit of thrill should never come at the cost of safety. Gono Falls, a slide that once echoed with screams of thrill, now silently echoes the harsh lessons of safety negligence. Before we unveil our top pick, let's take a moment to remember some other notorious water slides that have been banned. First off, we've got the infamous Shoot the Rapids from Cedar Point in Ohio. This water slide was more like a water coaster, with boats plummeting down steep hills into choppy water. But in 2014, a boat rolled backward down one of these hills and flipped over. Thankfully, there were no fatalities. But the incident led to the ride's ban and eventual dismantling. Next on our list is the Hydro from Oakwood Theme Park in Wales. This was a water ride that ended in a 55-foot drop into a pool. Tragically, in 2024, a young woman lost her life when she was thrown from the ride. The Hydro was immediately closed and later reopened with enhanced safety measures, although it remains a stark reminder of the risks involved in thrill-seeking. Let's not forget the Steamer Slide from Action Park in New Jersey. This one was notorious for its high-speed, body-burning slide surface. Riders would often end their ride with friction burns, and some even suffered more serious injuries. The steamer slide was banned in the late 80s due to these safety concerns. And finally, we have the Black Hole from Wet n Wild in Orlando. This enclosed, dark slide was the subject of numerous lawsuits due to accidents and injuries. In one instance, a man was struck by an unknown object while on the slide, causing paralysis. The Black Hole was ultimately banned in 2016. These slides, though no longer in operation, continue to be remembered for the thrills they once offered and the lessons they now teach. Brace yourself for the most insane banned water slide you can't ride anymore, the infamous Cannonball Loop. This slide, my friends, was nothing short of a daredevil's dream and a safety inspector's nightmare. Picture a towering structure, sleek and menacing, with a loop at the end that was as audacious as it was terrifying. The Cannonball Loop was the brainchild of an amusement park daredevil who clearly had a penchant for defying the laws of physics. The slide was a straight shot down a steep incline, culminating in the nail-biting loop. The loop was a full circle, unlike the gentler, elongated loops you see on roller coasters. This bold design was what made the Cannonball Loop a spectacle, and also what made it a hazard. Safety, unfortunately, was not the top priority during the design and construction of this slide. The angle and speed at which riders entered the loop were miscalculated and led to numerous incidents. Riders reported everything from mild discomfort to bruises and more severe injuries. Adding to the danger, the slide lacked the necessary safety measures to prevent these incidents. The Cannonball Loop was not long for this world. The number of injuries piled up and the slide was eventually shut down. It was a clear case of ambition outpacing safety. The slide's dangerous design and lack of safety measures were its downfall. It's a chilling reminder of what can happen when the quest for thrills is not tempered by a respect for safety. So, let's take a moment to remember the Cannonball Loop, not just for the thrills it provided, but for the lessons it taught us. This slide pushed us to question just how far we're willing to go for an adrenaline rush. And it showed us that there's a line that should not be crossed. Cannonball Loop, a slide that once stood as a symbol of extreme thrill, now serves as a stark warning about the perils of pushing the limits too far. Water slides are the epitome of summer fun, but as these banned slides show, safety must always come first. There's a reason we don't forget the Veru, Gono Falls, and Cannonball Loop. They were all about reaching the edge of thrill, pushing the envelope of excitement, but they also serve as a stark reminder of how that fine line between thrill and danger can blur. The Veru, with its sheer height that surpassed Niagara Falls, and the heart-stopping drop that followed, was a marvel of engineering. But it was also a stark example of how the rush to break records can lead to dire consequences. It's a lesson that thrill isn't about pushing past safety limits, but about respecting them. Then we have the Gono Falls, a slide that was once the talk of the town for its steep, near-vertical drop, but it too showed us that there's a point where the thrill can turn to terror. We must remember that the pursuit of adrenaline should never come at the cost of our safety or the safety of those around us. And finally, the Cannonball Loop, an engineering nightmare that looked more like a dare than a slide. Its loop defied conventional design, and as a result, it defied safety standards too. It's a clear reminder that the laws of physics shouldn't be challenged lightly, especially when lives are at stake. These slides have been banned not to kill the fun, but to preserve the joy of thrill-seeking. They remind us that the real thrill isn't in defying safety, but in finding the balance between excitement and security. The allure of danger can be enticing, but it's the thrill of the ride, the rush of adrenaline, and the joy of walking away unscathed that makes these experiences truly memorable. Remember, the most thrilling ride is one where you can walk away with a smile, not a cast. Stay safe and keep the adrenaline pumping.